Hello friends, and welcome back to another What's for Dinner episode. In this video, I will not only share what we ate this week, but also the step-by-step process and recipe links. I am a stay-at-home mom of 4 kiddos and I cook dinner almost every single day. This week I cooked 6 dinners, including a dinner party I hosted on Friday. I hope you enjoy this video and get some ideas and inspiration. On Sunday we had Barbacoa tacos, and for this I'm using 3 pounds of beef chuck roast, 2 chipotles in adobo sauce, some onions, green chilies, some seasonings, and garlic. And I am making this in my Instant Pot. First I'm going to saute the meat. So I just press the saute function. I do season my meat with salt and pepper and just rub it in. And then I'm going to brown all of the sides. While the meat is browning, I'm going to make the sauce. I'm putting some water, the onions, garlic, and all the rest of the ingredients into a blender. And I'm going to blend it until smooth. And I will have this recipe linked down below for you. It is a family favorite. We love it so much. We've made it for a couple of years now. Once the meat is brown on all sides, I'm going to add the sauce on top, and then I'm going to put the lid on and cook it for 60 minutes. And I'm going to do a natural release, and once it's done, I'm going to shred it up with a fork. I do like to add some of the sauce back into the meat just to make it very moist. Our favorite way to have these tacos lately has been with coleslaw. Just the combination with the spicy meat and the cool and crisp cabbage. And then I do top mine with sour cream, onions, and avocado. This is what Sunday's dinner looked like. On Monday we had roasted chicken, and I like to put my chicken on this trivet, which actually came with my Instant Pot. It makes removing the chicken really easy. And I just rubbed my chicken with some oil, salt, pepper, paprika, and this seasoning from Costco. Then I stuffed it with celery, onions, and carrots, and I put some more on the bottom because this is what is going to make my gravy. I also added 1 cup of chicken broth to the bottom of the pan for my gravy. So I covered the chicken with foil and roasted it for 1 hour at 350. Then I removed the foil and stick it back in the oven for 1.5 hours more. After my chicken was done, I cooked some corn and mashed potatoes. I also made my gravy. For the gravy, I just gather all the drippings, some carrots, onions, celery, whatever is left on the bottom of the pan, and I just puree it. If it is too thick, I add more chicken broth. I make my mashed potatoes in my stand mixer. I add 1 stick of butter and I beat it, and then I'm going to scrape the sides and slowly add 1 cup of hot milk. I just add a little bit at a time. I did salt the potatoes when I cooked them, but I do like to add some Lawry's garlic salt and pepper afterwards. This is my favorite way to make mashed potatoes. Whenever anyone tries them, they always ask for the recipe, but honestly, it's so simple. Just milk, butter, garlic salt, and pepper. So this is what Monday's dinner looked like. I then threw in all the chicken bones, whatever was left in the pan, into the pot, added some water, and made my own chicken broth for the next day. On Tuesday, I made chicken noodle soup with the leftover chicken from the previous night. I chopped up some onions, celery, and carrots and sautéed them until they were softened. Then I poured my homemade chicken broth into the pot. I added the noodles and the leftover chicken, stirred everything together. I brought it to a boil, and then I seasoned it with salt, pepper, and parsley. So this was Tuesday's dinner. On Wednesday, I made broccoli chicken casserole. And this recipe will be linked down below, but you just need 2 chicken breasts, some mushrooms, onions, broccoli, garlic, cheddar cheese, milk, and you need to cook some pasta. I'm going to start by sautéing my chicken breast. I have seasoned the chicken breast with salt, pepper, and paprika. Once the chicken is cooked through, I'm going to remove it from the pan, and I am going to add the mushrooms and onions and sauté them, and then I'm going to add the broccoli. I'm not cooking the broccoli for too long because it is going to cook in the oven. Afterwards, I'm just adding garlic and mustard. Next, I sprinkle in the flour, stir it well, and then I'm going to pour in my liquids, which is 1 cup of chicken broth and 2 cups of milk. I then add in my cheese, and I'm going to stir it together and bring it to a simmer. I'm going to season it with pepper and salt and taste it to make sure it is seasoned through. Once the sauce is heated through, I'm adding back my chicken and the noodles that have been cooked, stirring everything together and transferring it all into a casserole dish. I am also making green beans, which are just tossed with some oil, garlic, salt, pepper, and paprika, and baked in the oven at the same time. This is what Wednesday's dinner looked like. On Thursday, I made stewed beef over mashed potatoes. I don't have a recipe for this, but it is quite simple. You just need some meat, some tomato sauce, some chopped onions, carrots, and some seasonings. I am starting out by browning the meat. I am using about 3 pounds of stewed cut meat, and I'm seasoning it with salt, pepper, and cumin. I let it brown on all sides, and once the meat is browned, I am going to add the chopped onion and about 4 chopped carrots. Once the carrots and onions are beginning to get browned, I am adding in the garlic, and then I'm going to add 2 cans of tomato sauce, and then I rinse the cans out and add 2 cans of water. I throw in 2 bay leaves. I'm going to season it with salt and pepper, stir everything together, and turn the pot on low heat and cook this for about 1.5 to 2 hours on low heat. After 2 hours, you can see it's nicely thickened. The meat is incredibly tender, and I'm going to serve this over mashed potatoes and a side of some steamed broccoli. This was Thursday's dinner. On Friday, I hosted dinner at our house and I made quite a bit of food. I went for an Italian theme. I'm starting off by making my lasagna. In my pan, I have 1 large onion that is grated very finely, 1 pound of ground beef, which I'm seasoning it with salt and pepper, and I'm going to brown the meat. Once the meat is browned, I am adding 2 cans of tomato sauce and 1 can of water. I am going to season my sauce with basil, oregano, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. I'm then going to bring it to a simmer and let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes on low heat. I'm chopping up some spinach for my ricotta mixture, and then I'm going to add an egg, salt, and pepper, and just stir everything together. I cooked some lasagna noodles according to the package directions, and I'm starting to assemble my lasagna. I do like to add sauce on the bottom. Then I add the noodles, and then I smear the ricotta cheese mixture over all the noodles. Then I'm going to add more sauce over that, and I'm going to top the meat with mozzarella and Parmesan cheese and just repeat the layers. I also made my Alfredo bake. I have shared this recipe before. I'm not going to show you the process of making it, but I will link it down below for you. I am making one of my favorite appetizers of all time. I'm sauteing some onions on the skillet. I also have about 8 ounces of chopped mushrooms, and here I am slicing the French baguette, and I will link this recipe down below for you. And the slices of the baguette just go on a baking tray. After the onion is golden, I'm adding about 4 cloves of garlic and just sauteing for a little bit and then taking it off the heat. Then I add about 2 tablespoons of butter into the skillet, and I'm going to saute the mushrooms. I am seasoning the mushrooms with salt, pepper, and paprika. I'm just going to stir it all together and keep stirring it until the mushrooms are golden. Then I will remove them from the heat and add them into the bowl with the onions. To the bowl, I am adding 1 cup of Italian blend cheese, about a 1/4 cup of chopped parsley, about a 1/3 cup of mayonnaise, some salt and pepper. I'm stirring it all together. And then I'm just going to top the sliced French baguette pieces, and then it's going to go into the oven at 350 for about 15 minutes until all the cheese is melty. Next, I am moving on to making my salad. This is my absolute favorite salad for fall and winter months. I'm using a blend of arugula and spinach. I am chopping up 1 gala apple. I'm going to peel and dice 3 cooked beets. I will link this recipe down below for you. It is so good. I am roughly chopping some walnuts, adding that into the salad. I'm also going to add some cranberries and some crumbled goat cheese. For the dressing, you just need some honey, some mustard, balsamic vinegar, olive oil, salt, and pepper. Just whisk it all together and dress it right before you're sitting down to eat. I made 2 different desserts for our dinner party. I'm starting off by making the pizzelle cookies. These are going to be stuffed with a dolce de leche filling, which is so good. I will have this recipe linked down below for you as well. I am starting off by whisking the eggs with the sugar until it is nice and thick. Then I am adding the melted butter and vanilla extract. And lastly, I am going to add the flour, and my little toddler wanted to help. She loves to run when she hears mommy using the stand mixer. She's always curious and wants to lick the spoon. Once the batter is finished, I'm going to add it into a pastry bag. I find this the easiest way because this batter is very sticky. I have preheated my pizzelle cookie maker, and I'm just going to add a dollop of the batter on each side, and these cook so fast, so don't go anywhere. I am rolling these up while they are still hot. That's the only way to roll them without breaking them. And I'm using these thin markers. I don't have any dowels, but this works. I just keep these in my baking drawer for whenever I need to make these cookies. But these cookies are also good just plain. If you don't roll them, they're just nice, crispy treat. For the filling, you need 1 can of dolce de leche, you need 1 stick of cream cheese and 1 stick of butter, and the butter and cream cheese should be softened. You just add all 3 to your bowl, beat it all together, and you have your filling. The easiest way to fill these is also using a pastry bag. And I store these in the fridge and take them out about an hour before eating them. Next, I am moving on to the pavlovas. I'm making these individual size. They are very messy to eat, so individual works the best. I'm separating the eggs. I just need the egg whites for this recipe. I am going to start by beating them and slowly adding 1 cup of sugar. Right before adding the last of the sugar, I added 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, the rest of the sugar, and a squirt of lemon juice, and I continue beating it until everything is incorporated. I bake these at 225 for 1 hour and 15 minutes, then I turn off the heat and let them stand there for another 30 minutes. For the whipped cream, I am just whisking together 1 1/4 cup of heavy cream and 1/2 cup of sugar. Then I just fill each individual shell with whipped cream, and I'm going to top them with some fruit. And this was what Friday's dinner looked like. We ended our busy week with a delicious dinner surrounded with our wonderful friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite dinner was. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in my next video.